Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. It's Jeffrey Kite back again with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. Got an update on my entries into the Caleb's Cards, TTM Autographs, and More Junk Wax Challenge 6. I got 2 done come back in the mail. One out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and one out of Greensboro, North Carolina. So hopefully I get to add 2 more to my list and get my points up and running here. So first off, let's take a look. We're going to start with this Greensboro, North Carolina one. What does it say? Piedmont Triad Area. I don't know about that. I know over in Raleigh, they got the Research Triangle, which is Durham, Raleigh, and think Winston-Salem, something like that. Anyway, let's see. I got open here. Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Harry Gant. I'm not even going to check to see if he signed these because Harry is so good. He is so good to his fans, but let's see what we got. Oh, there's one on a Maxwell House out of my personal collection. There's the one from my Caleb's Cards entry right there, Harry Gant. So I get to count 3. 3 points now on that. See if he signed the 3rd card. Yes. That's my other card out of my personal collection now. Let's see. I want to feature this card when I talk a little bit about him, but to do it right, I'll make sure I do it accurately. I'll feature my Caleb's Cards entry. So here he is. Let me tell y'all a little bit about old Harry Gant, in case some of y'all might be wondering about him. Harry, he was a really good guy. He was like the king of nicknames. They called him Hard Luck Harry because he finished 2nd, 3rd in the point standings a bunch. Just never could get over the hump there. They called him, what'd they call him? Hollywood Harry, because he was kind of a good-looking fella, so to speak, I guess. I mean, he looked all right, I guess. I mean, not ugly, not ugly dude, but I'm not a very good judge of men's looks, if y'all know what I mean. I don't go around talking about how good-looking men are, but that was one of his nicknames, Hollywood Harry, and the best name that I know about him is Mr. September. I'm going to tell y'all about that here in a minute. Harry was really, really good. He ran a lot of races in the lower circuits in the early 70s and was a 3-time champion. Yeah, late model division champion winner. And he just eventually graduated his way up to the Cup Series. 1985 was like his breakout year. He competed in this racing series called the IROC series. And IROC, I-R-O-C. What it stands for was International Race of Champions. And what it was is it was a series that was it kind of like, if any of you guys follow soccer, kind of like Champions League, where it takes all the championship clubs or the, maybe the runner-ups from each, those championship league or different leagues around Europe and put them all together and have like a Champions League, a league of champions and some of your better teams. Well, that's what IROC was. IROC was like it was a little 4-race series of some of the top drivers in the world. And in 1985, Harry Gant was in that. He found his way into the IROC series, and he won it. He was the IROC champion in 1985, driving an old Chevy Camaro. That was the car that all the IROC drivers had to race that year. And eventually they moved on to different cars and manufacturers. But in 85, it was the Chevy Camaro. He won like $158,000 in 1985 by winning that IROC series. And 1985, $158,000 in 1985 is equivalent to just over like $400,000 in today's money. So I mean, he had a real good payday that year. He continued to race in the NASCAR circuit again, just never could quite get over the hump. Won some big races and finished second and third and several others. But 1991 was the year he put his name on the map as one of the greatest drivers of all time. 1991, at 51 years of age, y'all, 51 years old, he won 4 consecutive races in the month of September. And in fact, those 4 consecutive races, those were all the races in September. He won all 4 Cup races that month. And he won, I think, 2 or 3 of the Busch Series races. So, I mean, he just dominated the month of September in 1991 in both of those series. And that's how he got his name, nickname Mr. September. Kind of a play on words of Reggie Jackson's Mr. October moniker. So that's when he became known as Mr. September. And then the next year in that year in 1991, he was the first. In fact, it was this. I messed my camera up here a little bit. It was this race right here. Let's see, what was that? That was the first one, right? Yeah, he was almost 51 years old. He won race, number 13 there. I don't know where that was right off bat, but he was the oldest driver to, there it is at the top. I forgot. Sorry about that. Pocono. He won it down there at Pocono. Was the first driver over 50 years of age to win a NASCAR race. And when he turned 51, he won races then. And then in 1992, he won again. In 1992, he won the Champion Spark Plug 400 at Michigan International Speedway to become the oldest driver in NASCAR history to win a race at 52 years of age. And you might think, well, I mean, it's not like NASCAR drivers are athletes. I mean, they're not out running and racing and that kind of thing. But let me tell you something. These guys, they should be considered athletes. They should be because, man, it takes a lot of stamina and endurance, and you got to be physically fit to drive a car at 200 miles an hour. And you are, butt to butt right next to another dude driving 200 miles an hour. And, I mean, ain't nowhere to go. It's just concrete to your right and, something bad happening to you to the left. So I would venture to say that, I mean, they are some of the best athletes in the world. Maybe not the best, but some of the best. And old Harry, man, he was still going strong at 52 years of age. So some of you old timers out there need a little bit of inspiration. Here's your man right here, Harry Gant. Oh, they also called him the Bandit because Skull. Let's see, you can see it right there on that. Skull was his sponsor for many years. Skull was a smokeless tobacco product, and they make these little things called Bandits, which is smokeless tobacco wrapped up in a little pouch that you can put between your cheek and gum, and the pouch keeps keeps that stuff from getting all in your teeth and stuff. So, but anyway. Enough about Mr. Harry Gant. Man, I done spent 10 minutes on Harry Gant. He's one of my favorites. I was so happy to pull him and be able to get him added on. All right, let's see who we got next here. Got a Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's see. This is a thick one, folks. I think there's some extra goodies in this one. Because, I mean, this... Let's see. What is this? Oh, nice. Nice here. We got Shelton Pittman. His name, he goes by his nickname of Runt. He signed, yes, he signed the back of this Buddy Baker card. This Buddy Baker, this is my card that I pulled. And Runt, he signed the back of it. I'll tell you why in a minute. What is this? What in the world? Holy folks, this... guys, I'm speechless right now. For those, for you young folks out there, and young, I'm talking about people born after about, I guess, 1988, 89. The cameras that we had back then were these little 10mm cameras. They were about that long, and they had a little the film came in a little canister like this. And had a circle here and a circle there and a little piece in the middle. And you take the picture and you'd snap it and roll the little dial to the next frame, and that's what these pictures are. These are old. These are some old 10mm pictures, candid shots of some of the greatest figures in NASCAR. First of all, this right here is Donnie Allison. I got so much to unpack here. All right. Runt, Shelton Pittman, Runt here. He worked for this racing team called Haas Ellington Racing or whatever. But anyway, he worked for Haas Ellington. He worked for Haas Ellington from 1965 to about 1988 when Haas had to close his shop. And I believe this man right here is the great Haas Ellington. And this man right here is the great Buddy Baker. And this car right here, this is the Uno #1. This was Haas's his #1 scheme, his car number was always #1, and this was his. He always had these on his cars. It was a 1, the 1 outlined in a 1 with the star above it, and Uno, the card game, was the sponsor for Buddy Baker in 1981 at Daytona. And I think he sponsored his car that whole year, 1981. I think this is a candid shot that Runt took with his own camera down at Daytona in 1981, just before the race. Some of you old timers, if y'all got, if y'all can help me out on this, I think I got this right. Put a comment down in the comment section what y'all think about this. I'm literally holding a piece of NASCAR history. This isn't a stock photo, folks. This isn't stuff you can go on the internet and find and print off. This was something Shelton took himself, probably. And he's sharing his memories with me, man. My letter must have really touched him, because I talked about Buddy and Hoss and this guy right here too. This is Donnie Allison. He wrote Donnie on the back. That's not how you spell Donnie's name. He's Donnie, I think, is how you spell Donnie's name. But at any rate, this is Donnie Allison. And he's just hanging out in a pickup truck. Runt probably took this picture as he was joshing around with Donnie Allison. Runt was, I don't know, I'm sorry, my brain's going 90 miles an hour. Runt worked on his cars and his engines. He was an engine builder. And Runt built Donnie Allison's engines. And for NASCAR, I don't know if he built Donnie's engine when he was finished fourth in the Indianapolis 500 and won Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year, the year that Donnie won that. But I do know that Runt built four of his engines that won races. I mean, this is incredible. This is just amazing right here. I just can't get over that. Mr. Pittman, thank you so much for sharing these. I'm going to treasure these pictures here. I got to find a special place to put these. But going back to Runt, I chose Runt to sign the Buddy Baker card because, let me pose them like this, because Runt, like I said, he was an engine builder, and Runt built, and was the crew chief for, I think, about 25 races for Buddy back in 1981 and 1982. Runt was the crew chief for some of those races. Buddy, he was running a limited schedule. He was getting up there in age, and he was still running some races. But Runt was his crew chief, and Runt was his engine builder for Buddy Baker's car. And I believe, yeah, it was. If it was 1981, he built the engine for this car. Just, wow, so special. And I mentioned all this in my letter to him. And they did really good. I think they had, out of those 25 races there, they had like a dozen top 10 finishes. Well, I mean, you can look it all up on the internet if you want to, but they did really good. I mean, to finish in the top 10 in half of the races that you crew chief and that you build the engine for this guy, for your driver, I mean, it was pretty good. That was real good. They say Runt could build an engine that had just the most horsepower of any engine that was on the track. And in fact, Runt built the engine for this car right here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me check the year on the back of this card. Yep, 1993 Pro Set. So this was the 1992 Kodak Ernie Irvan car. And he built the engine for Ernie Irvan to win the Daytona 500 in 1992. I believe it was 1992 that Ernie won his Daytona 500. In 1991, Runt was the engine builder of the year at the NASCAR awards, and just wow, I'm just amazed at all the goodies I got from this. So Caleb, if you're watching this was my entry. I had the Buddy Baker card, and there is Runt Pittman's autograph at the bottom. So to recap, I know, folks, I'm at 20 minutes. This is a long video. I'm sorry, but I mean, these was some pretty special things. There it is, Harry Gant, Buddy Baker. So I can mark those off here. So here's Buddy Baker. And where's Harry Gant? There's Harry right there. All right. Well, that brings me to 4 points now. I'm hot on the heels of Autographs 2000. He's got 6 points, and I got 4. So I'm in the game. Sorry this video took so long. I'm just really choked up about these pictures. This is, I mean, these are one. Y'all want to talk about one of ones? These are one of ones right here. These are one of ones. You are not going to find. This is a single moment in time that has been captured that never happened before and will never happen again. Like these, once those moments are gone, they're gone. Just, oh, thank you so much. All right, folks, as always, I've talked enough. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, y'all take care now. Have a good one. Bye.